Pardon?
A magical baker.
Leisha's eating a cookie from her mum's friend. Did you just show it? Cookie! Oh, I've got a story to tell.
Shall we start the podcast
Yeah,
first?
that'd be great.
Tell it. Back
to the SketchPad Pod.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Honor.
And that was take 2.
Yeah, take 1 was not ideal. So, it is early March, mid-March. It's that time of the year where, like, January and February have, like, run into oblivion. And I don't really know what...
We're just living in a blur, you know?
for sure.
March just... It doesn't have many defining features other than it's grey. Well, at least for the UK,
yeah,
that
thanks
is.
for that one, mate.
This is actually the start of my Easter break, funnily enough, which everyone is going to be like, oh, lucky you, I'm still at college or still at work. I know. Blame university strikes. There you go.
Yeah, to be fair, like, I'm not saying it's bad that you're off uni. But also it's kind of like, it's bad that you're paying for something you're not getting it. But I respect the strikes because you gotta hustle when things aren't equal.
Yeah, very true.
So, just a little what we're doing today. I'm painting the sky. I was sat on my sofa the other day reading and there was a nice sunset. When I say the other day, it was last night. And I was like... What am I going to do in the pod?
To be fair, we planned to film literally yesterday afternoon.
Yeah.
So, quick turnaround. I'm trying to pick a picture, but I've taken some photos of the local fountain because the local Friends Association... I know.
lives in a small village.
Have asked me to do a little drawing for their online logo. I'm not really a graphic designer, but I'm going to do my best. I'm trying to decide. I think I want like a more inclusive of the kind of road and...
Yeah, not just like the
brickwork.
fountain. And so this sky, I'm actually painting over a couple of old pages in my sketchbook. You know when you do something you just don't like it? Might as well paint over it, you know? Because sketchbooks are like work in progresses.
That is the age-old debate. You always get told at school, it's like, oh no, everything is valuable.
It's like, no, it's not. That's rubbish. But these things do make me laugh. So we got a little. Oh,
is she focusing?
It's gonna go upside down, and you guys can just deal with that. So that's a little drawing of a man. It's like a watercolour sketch of a man fishing. And then, so there's quite a funny memory to this. This is a sort of an abstract line drawing of a gazebo flying away.
It's beautiful.
And it's basically, when we were in Wales, shock horror, start of season 3. Oh, welcome to season 3, by the way.
Oh yeah, hello, welcome to season 3. I hope you caught all of season 2.
If you didn't,
go back and listen to it, watch it. It was a banger.
It was, actually. It was pretty great. Did we do 9 episodes in the end?
Yeah, we did 9, but we did an extra one for our YouTube viewers. So if you didn't catch that one,
yeah,
it's still there.
Do.
It's actually quite chaotic, that one.
Yeah, don't watch it if it's like a stressful time.
Yeah,
we do like a drawing
fast-paced
challenge, and anyway. So we're in Wales, and on the sort of like second to last night, there was a massive storm. And, well, it was just a big storm, and things were like...
Yes.
We were like right on
bad.
the coast, and like we deal with storms quite well, but this was like... what was it? It was like 50-mile-an-hour winds, and it was like not
you
ideal.
do not want to be in a tent with
the tent was going to blow away. So anyway, we got up at about, 12? Because we'd tried to go to sleep, and we were like, yeah, we're going to have to collapse the main tents. So we got out, and I was running around. I think I was in my underwear, which
you may think is odd, but Honor does this as a practical thing
I do.
when we're on holiday. Often when we go for rainy walks, she'll just be in a bikini
because
and a raincoat.
I can dry my legs easier than I can dry jeans. So if it's raining, I just will take my clothes off.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I was running around in like wellies and underwear, and we're like chucking everything in the car, and Leisha's like, I think the car's badly packed because it's dark. And we all look at her in this like absolute chaos. We're trying for the like gazebo to not blow away, and we're like, yeah.
No, really?
Because it's like, didn't work that one out. Thanks, Leisha.
Yeah.
Because it's like literally pitch black and like it's so wet and windy, and we're like, yeah, insightful. Thank you, mate.
What can I say? I'm just a genius.
Nice one.
No, it's known in my family that I say some very quotable things, but not for like a good reason.
Yeah. I'm just going to take a photo of that though, because it makes me laugh.
So anyway,
I
have been quoted in on a sketchbook.
Yeah, and now I'm painting over it because it was like
Tragedy.
It's going to stay in my heart and now online though. So
There you go. Shall we explain
I think we should explain what we're talking about today.
what we're talking about today? Also, although, have we done enough of an update? Because it's been a few months.
Yeah, let's do a bit more of an update.
But if you want to skip ahead,
What? No.
we will be talking about talent versus skill today. That is what we're going to get round to
Later on.
But for those of you who might be joining us for the first time, we do like to
Waffle,
update you on a few things. And like we said, this is the first episode of the season, so
we've really got to be catching up.
yeah.
And also, Leisha's been away at uni, so we haven't caught up ourselves that much. Like, I saw you yesterday, but
Yeah,
other
but
than that,
I made a good curry.
you did. You made a really nice curry.
So
I
one of the
enjoyed
things
that.
I've managed to do while at uni is learn how to cook.
Woo! So yeah, update on the last couple of months.
So for me, like I said, I've been at uni, and I've been working on a personal project. All of my artwork is always up on Instagram at Benson Art. If you want to check it out.
Shameless.
I know, shameless plug. I've also been working with my art collective called Gwack, and we've got an exhibition coming up next week, which will probably have already gone by the time you watch this, but they're online, so you can check out Gwack as well. And we're hoping that at some point I will be able to get one of my friends from Gwack onto the podcast. Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, all of that fun stuff. But yeah, I am back. I sorely missed my dogs, and my bed. My bed at home is so comfy.
Family.
Oh yeah, I miss one and got it. So I was back for a brief moment at Christmas, and and that was nice.
It
but,
was.
Who knows how long? I'm meant to be back for like a month, but
Oh yeah, Corona.
we are currently filming this around about, I think it's 7 weeks into the coronavirus outbreak.
Yeah.
But like only the first sort of week or two that it's been majorly like talked about in the UK.
Like obviously you'll all be so bored of it,
Yeah.
but like just as a little update to like what's actually going on at the moment, so you can place us. Like for like 6 weeks, everyone's been like on about it, and I've been a bit bored, to be honest. And like to be fair, like in the UK, like nothing's really been happening. Like it'll be like 1 person has the coronavirus. It's like all right, okay, but like in the past week, suddenly it's got like quite a lot more serious. Like there's apparently about 10,000 cases in the UK, and Boris Johnson has...
I don't think it's 10,000.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, they say, like, 5 to 10,000...
Estimated.
They think 5 to 10,000 has... people actually have it.
Oh, but they haven't been tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, fake news.
I think confirmed there's about 800 at the moment.
Yeah, so...
Anyway.
But then, like, everyone's flipping buying all the stuff in Sainsbury's and Tesco's.
Can't get any toilet roll, can't get any bread, you definitely can't
My
get any
mum can-
paracetamol.
You know what you can't get, which really irritated me? Kidney beans.
Yeah, all the canned goods are gone.
I think that's the most vegan thing I've ever said.
I do love a good
I have
chili.
Yeah, beans on toast.
With kidney beans on toast?
Yeah, I make
I just
beans
go for
on
baked
toast.
beans. Anyway, okay.
I've got to
moving
be
on. We're already like 10 minutes into the podcast.
You're joking.
I know.
Time flies when you're not talking about much
Apart
at all.
from the coronavirus, do you have any other life updates?
No, I do have a story though.
Go for it.
I'm doing my A-levels in a couple of... This is actually the other thing with the coronavirus. Like, it's supposed to be at its worst in 10 weeks, which is when I'm doing my A-levels.
We love that for you.
So I'm like, oh, great. Nice. Thank you, everyone. Thanks. That's so fantastic. But anyway,
maybe they'll just automatically pass you.
Oh, I don't want that to happen, though. And it sounds dumb, but, like, I've worked so hard. It's like, I don't want that to just be put in the bin. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I've dedicated a lot of my life already. It's like, I'm at the final stage. Like, come on, just let me finish the race. It's like if you do a marathon and then in the last kilometre someone trips you up and breaks your leg. That was a very dramatic analogy, but we'll let it. So slide. There we go. Yeah, so my story, I've actually got a video. I've got a video. And the audio listeners, you can enjoy this as much. Basically, the other day, my mum went out to work and left the keys in the inside of the door, which meant she then couldn't put the keys in the other side of the door. You know?
Oh, no.
So, and she forgot something, so I had to come home.
This is giving me flashbacks to when I locked my keys in the car. That story I've told on another episode, so I'm not going to tell it.
Yeah. Alicia locked her car keys in the car and the car auto-locked. That was a fun one.
At the fuel...
At the petrol station.
Yeah, like, not good.
So my mum rung the doorbell because she had to get in the front door about 7:30 in the morning, and we're having some building work at the moment, so I thought it was the builders. So I like chucked on a dressing gown, like stumbled downstairs and opened the door, and she's just there like, sorry, and I was like, morning mum. And then my cat Topaz clearly had seen her come through the front door.
Yeah.
So then so I went back to bed and I could just hear her meowing incessantly.
Yeah.
And I was like, where is she? So I had to go and hunt. And look where I found her.
You're unbelievable. You are unbelievable. Get out.
So she sat, meowed on the front doorstep until I let her in. I was fuming, I can't lie. I was so cross with her. Anyway, that's the height of my...
I bet all the cat owners can really relate to that.
I'm not being funny. We haven't done a podcast for like 5 months, and that's the one
and
story
that's the update that you have.
Nice.
Well, moving on. Let's get into the main meat of today, what we're talking about.
You know when you were like, moving on, I sort of in my head, I was like, to what? And I was like, oh yeah, we talk about slightly useful stuff from this. Today, we're talking about art. Oh no, we're not. Sorry.
We're talking about talent versus skill, which could be attributed to artistic talent versus skill, but I think we're talking about it in more general terms.
Sure, yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
I have some notes. So does Honor.
I have about 2. Perhaps. I mean, I can't go across you. Most of the notes are in my head, to be fair. But that being said, I do have some notes written down.
I think I'll just start us off with a brief definition.
We know she loves the definition.
Always. So, what?
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Can I just make a disclaimer?
Sure.
I've been, like, working all morning, so I'm a bit hyperactive. So that's just an apology. Sorry.
I feel like one of us is always hyperactive.
Yeah, it's me today.
That's fine.
The fact that I interrupted the start of the important bit to say that so boldly kind of sums it up.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I have not been in that much. I prepped for this podcast and I've written a draft of my CV.
Wow.
And I'm on holiday, so that's pretty
You know
pretty
what
good
made
for
me feel like a
morning.
massive adult? Oh, I had my birthday. I'm 18 now. Oh dear, I need to start pronouncing my T's. I'm 18.
Yeah, Mum keeps telling me I sound like a Londoner if I don't pronounce things correctly.
And you're like, oh, sorry.
Anyway.
Is that a bad thing? So, this is going to sound so stupid. Right, I passed my driving test in September.
Woo!
Thank you. It was like 7 months ago. But
I did congratulate her at the time, just to clarify.
And I like use the family car, and every time it's run low on petrol, I've stopped driving it until someone else has filled it up. But
Has that been working so far?
yeah, it has. But I was driving to college the other day because I try and walk to college, but I was like not feeling great, so I was like, well, I'm driving. And it was in red, and I was like, oh dear me, I think I'm gonna have to fill up on petrol. So I did, and it was quite actually sad. Thank you for listening to my TED talk.
I'm confused as to why filling up your car was sad. What, because you have to use your own money?
Yes. Yes. That is exactly why.
Wow, yeah, welcome to the real world.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying it.
Although, I am currently sharing my car with my mum, because when I moved, just shortly before I moved to London, one of our old cars failed its
Moving to
MOT.
London sounds so bougie.
I know.
She's an influencer.
I am the furthest thing from an influencer. Oh my life, we're like 20 minutes in. Right, I'm gonna make this quick.
Oh, sorry everyone.
So when I moved to London, one of our old cars failed its MOT, so me and my mum are sharing now, which is quite good because actually every time I come home, the car has a full tank.
Oh, that is
petrol.
quite nice actually.
Yeah.
Love it.
So
talent versus skill.
talent versus skill. Talent is an inborn special ability that a person has to do something.
Lovely.
So it's the idea it's not something that's learnt, but something you're born with. Maybe you're born with it? No.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah, it's some sort of hair advert, isn't it? Skill is an expertise acquired by learning and practice. So, yeah, we're just going to talk about kind of whether we think what both are important or how they might work together, and our different views on it.
And especially, is art talent or skill?
And that's an interesting question. I don't think I have a specific answer on
See,
that.
that's what I planned.
That
may have been miscommunication. That's absolutely fine, because you can talk about your bit for a little bit, and then I can waffle on about something else.
Talent is seen as a naturally recurring pattern of thought, feeling or behaviour that can productively be applied. The idea there is that it's something that you're naturally or instinctively going to act out. It's the idea that actually, if you do have a certain set of born talents, it might be quite difficult for you to think about straying away from those or going and doing something else or studying something else, because even if it's not like a concrete thing like dancing or art, or if you have a very mathematical mind, you probably wouldn't then try and go and take a degree in English lit, something like that.
So it's saying if you're naturally better at something, you're more likely to go down that route.
To pursue it, yeah.
Okay.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about is whether within education, do we all have inborn talents, or do some of us purely have to rely on learning and skill? And also, do you think having a talent affects your access to education?
Okay, so first question again.
So, do you think that everyone has an inborn talent?
I do. I think everyone is skilled at different things, but I don't think the education system reflects those skills.
Yeah.
See, would you say something like emotional intelligence is a talent?
I guess if it's something that you're genetically the right word, but you're predisposed. So I would say that our family as a whole is quite emotional, and so we have
emotional.
No, but they can be quite empathetic, and so perhaps some of us have a stronger emotional empathy.
But is that because we've been born with it, or is that because our family are all quite like that, so that's what we've learned?
Interesting.
I
would say that I would have thought I am just generally a more emotional person.
Yeah.
So I feel like that
being emotional is not being emotionally intelligent.
Thanks for that one.
I cry a lot, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm emotionally intelligent.
Sure.
Okay. So,
any other examples? no, but like, because this is another thing that I wanted to say is like, what do we define the talent as having to be? Does it have to be a talent that's related to your career, or it could be within relationships, or like personal mindset? Like, is it a talent to just be able to say, like, to be positive all the time, kind of have a more positive mindset, or to be forgiving, or
I think that's a skill, because I think that's
because
like,
that's you have to learn.
Probably DNA. I mean, I don't know. This is probably the episode we should have got Holly to help us out with.
So should have got
Holly, our friend Holly does biomedical science. I'm sure DNA means some people are naturally maybe less quick to anger, which would mean they're more patient. But I don't think patience itself is a talent. So the question is, are talents solely what you're born with, or can they also be learned?
Or is it that you have a certain level of talent that you were born with, and then you can develop skills that correlate to your talent?
Yeah, because I think they're quite interlinked, because someone might be naturally quite patient, but then someone else might really work on it to become naturally patient, you know?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. I was watching a couple of videos, and this entrepreneur, I said that right, was saying that one of the best things, if you want to be, I guess, successful, is that you should use whatever, follow your talent, but then you have to work hard at building skills around that area of talent. Like, because you're instinctively going to be drawn to doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Because one of the things I was thinking of, so I gave the example, I was talking to my mum about this earlier. It's such a hard one to get your head around. She said, like, you're naturally really good at, like, matching colours. As in, like, colour theory and stuff. And I was like, yeah, but I think that's because I've spent hours doing that for GCSE art. So I was saying I've learnt that, but then she said, but then other people have also spent hours doing it for GCSE art, and it's still rubbish.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because I also get the comment, I've had it from teachers, but also like dad and stuff, and he'll say you've got like and you've said before that I have quite a distinctive colour palette. Like, I have something that's very recognisable in my colour palette, and people are like, oh, you have a good eye for colour.
Yeah.
And understanding colour theory. So perhaps, I mean, obviously we're related. Also, you know, one of our granddads, great granddads, was a war artist. Our granddad enjoys doing art. My dad obviously did art. You know, is it like there is a genetic
but I don't know.
predisposition,
like,
or is it like genetically? Do we all see colour very similarly, and that's why we understand it in a similar way,
I don't know,
and the rest of society perceives that as a good eye for colour, but maybe we just see colours differently to other people.
Or is it that, which I personally think, it's that I've spent a long time working out which colours look good together. So...
Oh yeah, no, I definitely think it's a talent, or it's a skill that I have honed, as it were.
Oh, but is there some natural...
I guess natural predication?
Naturally, our family is quite artistic, which means that if you're good at something, you tend to have more of an interest in it. Like, I was pretty useless at science, so I wasn't that interested in it because I found it really hard and I just wasn't interested in it. That's baseline. But I really enjoyed art, which meant I spent a long time doing art, which meant I've practiced. Using colour as an example, if I see something, someone will be like, does this match? And I'll be like, no, like, you need a slightly different... like, my brother was designing my mum a calendar, like a...
Cute.
I know, just a dates calendar, and he had loads of photos, and he, like, went through them, and I'd be like, I felt like an interior designer. I'd be like, can I see a sort of a pinky blue? It needs to be a bit darker. What about a mauve with this one?
Yeah.
Like, can I have the tone darker? Yeah,
and
that's
some people
the one.
don't. It's like they don't even see these things, or perhaps they do, but they don't like pick up on it. Like, they might look at something and go, "Oh, that's more aesthetically pleasing than that," but they don't know the components.
Yeah, but I think that's just because I've spent so long doing art.
So that's a trained
Yeah, I reckon so.
Skill.
More on this theme, I've got a couple of... I've actually got a Guardian article that I'm going to read an excerpt of.
Oh, we
I
do
know.
love. Meanwhile, I might just hold up my drawing a little bit so that people can see.
I mean, mine's a
Oh,
bit
dear.
random, but it's chill.
I feel like it's going okay.
It's nice. Okay, so this is a Guardian article something. I cropped out the name. The enduring question with creativity has always been whether the defining factors come from nature or nurture. Everyone can learn to be creative to some degree, but new research has revealed that the extent to which we're born creative may be greater than previously thought. 2 years ago, Kenneth Heilman and his team at the Department of Neurology and Neuroscience in Cornell University discovered that brains of artistically creative individuals have a particular characteristic that may enhance creativity. The brain is divided into two halves or hemispheres that are joined by a bundle of fibres called the corpus callosum. Writers, artists and musicians were found to have a smaller corpus callosum, which may augment that creativity by allowing each side of their brain to develop its own specialisation. The authors suggested that this benefits the incubation of ideas that are critical for the divergent thinking component of creativity. And the conclusion to that article was, so are we born creative or not? While factors such as upbringing play a crucial role in your brain's development, the work done by scientists in Scandinavia, Germany and the US has shown that having the right genetic makeup can make your brain more inclined towards creative thinking. The rest of us have to learn to be creative. That would say everyone has the potential to being creative, but some people have a greater... some people are almost like a step ahead when they're born.
Yeah, and I think that is the thing. Would you say that people can have different degrees of talent? So
Yeah.
One might be talented in art, but one person may just be like... So in the sense of, perhaps I have a good eye for colour, but someone else might have a particularly strong sense of proportion and space, and so they can make much more realistic painting or work.
Yeah. But is
as
that
someone
because you enjoy working with colour, so that's what you've developed?
Yeah, so that's why I mean raw. I would say my example of this is at A level, there was someone who could just did the most amazing pen drawing portraits.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy doing portraits, and I think I don't think I'm necessarily bad at doing portraits, but I will never be able to do portraits to the kind of highly detailed, realistic level that this person has done, because that is not the way I'm predisposed to work. If that makes sense.
I don't agree with that. I think you're
or I would have to work hard.
This is what I think. Yeah, I think it's that you have the potential to do that, but you're not as interested in that skill of doing such high detailed portraits, so you're not going to develop it.
Perhaps.
I think I do lean towards I think So I think people are naturally born with talents, I guess you'd call them, or just being naturally suited to some things. Like some people are naturally better at maths, blah blah, and I think that means you develop it. I truly believe if I wanted to become an A-class surgeon, I could. I suck at science and I don't enjoy science.
Yeah.
But if I worked hard enough, I reckon I'd be able to get it.
Yeah. Do you think hard work can outweigh those who are naturally talented?
Oh,
at
for
something?
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So if
Because,
you put more work in, you could become a better surgeon than someone who is just already naturally...
I think you can only get so far with natural talent in life.
I would agree. Also, that then brings in the idea of drive. So if you've got determination and you're very driven to following your passions, then you will develop those skills along to kind of aid your talent, whereas some people may not have that sort of personal motivation. So although they might be talented at this one thing, they don't want to develop it further into something else. Would that make sense?
And that being said, although I reckon if I work hard enough I could become a surgeon, say someone has like additional, I'm trying to think of something, say someone has like a tremor in their hand that meant under pressure their hand shook. I know it's a really basic example. It's like probably you wouldn't be able to become a surgeon. And similarly, like I know you can't, isn't it like you can't fly in the RAF if you have asthma?
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, there you go.
Sorry, mate. No such luck for you.
I was going to say, I know that you can't be a pilot if you're colourblind. So my brother could not be a pilot because he's colourblind, very slightly. So yeah, I think in the same way that some people have predisposed talents that would aid them.
There are external, there might be internal limits or external limits.
Yeah. I guess also that's the thing of... I wondered whether an element of privilege comes into this.
Oh, for sure.
So, you know, if you have a disability, if you're in a minority group, or purely bringing
if
back
you
to
don't
the
have the
idea
same access of education.
Education, yeah. And also I think sometimes, you know, the educational system, it's like, this person is good at this, good at that. Okay, top sets, bottom sets, and then they will sort of cater resources.
Yeah, in sociology, it's like so clear how much like so setting and streaming. So I think in America they use streaming, which is where you're put in one sort of group. So whether that's like lower ability or high ability, and that's for every single subject. Maybe they don't use it in America, but they used to use it in England. So then if you're amazing at English but not so good at maths, then you're put in a group which is lower for English as well, which like has such like a detrimental effect. But setting is where you sort of grouped for each individual subject. But it's like, I think so much of it is like external, because if you take science, for example, so in GCSE science, I was getting like pretty low grades and all of year 10 because I was in like a massive class. There were like 32 of us.
Yeah.
So the first 10 minutes of every class was like finding seats, and we all just like messed around, and the teachers changed around so much and we never got anything done. And then but like I worked quite hard, and then in the start of year 11 my teacher moved me up to the top set, even though I was by no means like good enough to be in that set, but being in like surrounded by people who work really hard, and it was like a good learning environment, and like I was with two of my closest friends who are really good at science, so they like essentially taught me the content, which meant that I then did like fine in science. But it's like definitely like privilege is such a big part of it, because like if I hadn't been moved, I'm not saying it would have been impossible for me to do well in science, because like my friends still did, but it would have been a lot harder. So I think
for sure
that's like definitely a factor.
With that, I would definitely agree, because say in maths, I think one of the reasons I did so well was because I was sitting next to someone who was really good at maths.
Yeah.
And so and also there was quite a like competitive atmosphere. So I you know, I wanted to be right about this thing, you know. I wanted to like kind of have that sort of back and forth with my friend of like trying to solve the problem.
Yeah.
And so I think again it's that element of using I think one of the things I found is they say to surround yourself with people of other skills or talents to you, so don't sort of
box yourself in with people who are the same.
Yeah, but also it's don't be like jealous or angry that someone else is talented at this thing and you're not. It's like just see it as like they are a resource that you can use.
Wow, we live in a society.
Or you think it maybe you want to think of it as, okay, well, I can rely on them to complete this part of a project or help me with this thing.
Yeah.
And so then therefore they can rely on me
Yeah, exactly.
for this thing, because I know that I'm good at this. So I think that can be important in education as well, like allowing people to, I think it can be important to try and perhaps maybe in like earlier learning, mix, obviously when you're in infant school and things, they don't have sets, it's mixed ability. And that I think can be useful to try and like
definitely
get people to integrate with one another.
Yeah, and also like if like they decide, you know, how good a 4-year-old is and put them in sets which will then affect how, you know, they're learning. It's like, well, they're 4, like because, you know, isn't it children from low income backgrounds are like a year behind in educational development by the time they get to
That's shocking.
year 1. So like so many factors play a big part. I have another piece of writing article type thing.
Go for it.
And I can't really remember what it says.
Well, it'll be a surprise for all of us then.
So artists are also made. This is leading on because this is I picked up halfway through the article. So artists are also made. They require training, education, and a culture of other artists, often in urban culture, says Locke, who is this person who's writing. Put an artist in isolation and nobody can learn anything from their work. A craftsman masters a skill, but an artist ventures beyond to innovate. Artists have to be in touch with other artists, building on what other artists have done. So, like natural talent, vision is innate. Yet the way that vision comes to fruition depends upon the artist's time and place, the surrounding artistic transition, training and life experience. So what I took from that is whether you're considered talented is low-key so subjective anyway. It's like someone could see you and be like, she's so talented at art, but in 100 years the idea of what makes good art will have changed.
Oh yeah, definitely when you talk about creative fields,
Yeah.
like the idea of what talent is. Or what good art. I mean, we've done a whole episode on what is good art.
I didn't think we came to a conclusion of that one either.
No.
It's interesting. Oh, I forgot that I have paint on it. Also, should we do an update on our...
Yeah, go for it.
So, I'm just playing around with paint, to be honest with you.
But I don't know if you can tell that there's some textures going on underneath.
Yeah, sorry, I just painted your finger.
It's okay. They're already painted.
So I was going to paint the sky and I haven't, because I painted some clouds, didn't really fancy them, so painted over them, and now I just accidentally forgot I had red...
going rogue, going abstract.
I forgot I had red paint on the paintbrush, so I just accidentally painted... I mean, to be honest, I'm just having a nice time. I haven't done art in weeks.
Yeah,
so
it's a bit of a...
I'll tell you why, segue.
Yeah.
This year, I'm trying to read 52 books in a year. So, I'm either doing college work or I'm reading. And, like, I'm fine with that. Like, people might be like, oh, she only works or reads. Like, okay, sure, the college work is a bit dull, but I've got to do that because I've got A-levels in a couple of months. And I like the reading. So, I haven't done much art.
Meanwhile, I've done a lot of art.
Well, you'd hope so.
But it's... This sort of art is different because...
It's choice.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's choice in what I do, but
Yeah.
I don't feel the pressure
No, as
for
in...
it to be good.
Yeah.
Which I think
Leash
is
does
important
an
at
art
some
degree.
point. I would hope that they would know that by now if you're a regular listener.
Well, if they're not regular listeners. Talking of not regular listeners, so we were looking at the stats the other day, and like loads of our old episodes have got quite a few plays now, just out of nowhere,
So some
haven't
of
they?
you found us recently.
Hello.
Hello. Should I do an art update? I'll just kind of, I guess for the listeners, I'm still drawing a fountain. It's okay. I think what I want to do is I want to get some thicker pen marks in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether we're going to actually have time for me to do that. So as
How long
always,
have we been talking for?
well, this is recording the second half.
Probably
So
quite a
we've
while now,
probably
isn't it?
talking a while. I just want to check whether there was anything else
Yeah, I can't remember what we were talking about when I interrupted so rudely. Basically, this has been one of those episodes where we just throw a load of ideas out.
I have a final question. And then, throw a load of ideas out.
Take from it what you want. We don't have a conclusion, but I quite enjoy talking about all these different things. It's just quite interesting, isn't it?
Food for thought.
Wow. Leisha's like, food for thought, and I'm like, it's just interesting, isn't it?
I don't know why, I just like that phrase. Food for thought.
I thought you were saying interesting in it. I was like, yeah.
It's a great phrase. No.
Final one. Chuck it out there.
Do we live in a society fixated on specific talents and skills which we uplift? And why is that?
I mean, I could...
So I think we do, is the why. Why.
Loki, I could go off on one. I think we live in a society to a certain extent where we're taught to... I'm going to talk about capitalism. I think we've been taught to monetize and make everything we're good at and enjoy money related. So you get income from monetize our lives.
Yeah.
And I think there's this pressure that things have to be good as well. This is less about capitalism now. I've been talking to my friends about recently, but I feel like there's this whole idea that like you have to be good at something. It's like you have to have your defining skill or talent, like, oh, Leisha's good at art and Honor
good at politics.
Bold idea. And it's like
she's sporty. She's good at boxer size.
Thanks. It's a lift up on her.
Yeah.
I just feel like, you know what, if I want to... I used to love rounders. I was useless at it, but I had such fun just
I quite
running.
enjoyed rounders. I was terrible.
Yeah, and it's like, I feel like there's this whole idea that you have to have your defining skill that you're great at, and it's got to be like, wow, look at them, they're so good at football. It's just like, no, you don't have to be good at it. Just do what you like. And like my friend was saying the other day, she was like, you know what, if I want to play guitar solidly for 2 months and not pick it up for another 2 years, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question or not? I did this, sorry, segue. I did my EPQ presentation and someone asked me a question and I went on such tangent. I was like, and I've forgotten what your question was, but there we go. Everyone just laughed. I was like, nice.
Yeah, I think you sort of touched on it. I think
you sort of, that's a fat no then, is it?
I think that there is definitely kind of talents that are favorited, like that's why you have like actors and musicians and they have this level of like celebrity and like and yes, I also think that talent becomes a commodity. You want to make money out of something you're good at, and I would agree that it's important to sorry. I got distracted. My mum.
Lisa just came in with a note, says, bye, please feed puppies in a bit. Maltesers, bickies for you.
Aww.
P.S. she got paracetamol and
Benadryl. Wow.
I get hay fever. Corona who?
Yeah. Not me. I've just got hay fever and asthma and just general life issues, so thanks, Mum. But not corona
yet.
I have no idea what I was saying now.
Sorry, I do apologise. I told you I was a bit hyper.
Yes, you've been very hyper. It's been good. It's nice. I would agree. I started doing dance classes this year, which I don't think anyone really probably expected me to do.
No. Leisha's infamously
unsporty.
I was going to say those exact words and I didn't, but you did, so there we go.
Well, I think, again, that's a, assumption.
Yeah.
That, maybe I just haven't found my sport yet.
You had a couple of bad experiences with hurdles. Asthma wasn't doing bits for you. But
I really love dance.
Yeah.
I may not And I
And
ever be the best dancer
but-
because I've started later on in life. But
No, but you're not supposed to be the best dancer.
no, exactly. That's the whole.
Yeah.
You know.
But also, if in PE, instead of them making you blinking run hurdles in summer as if you had any interest in that whatsoever, if they just put a bit of music on and were like, yeah, you can just dance with your friends, you know, you would have probably enjoyed that a lot more.
And I would have probably got a lot more exercise done in my early years.
Falling over hurdles and spraining your ankle didn't
help. And like, I have since found that I quite enjoy swimming now that I'm not being forced to do it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I think you just need a bit of time to like breed your own talents.
People have just got to let me be obtuse. If they tell me to do something, no. If I am making the internal decision that I want to do it, then I'm going to do it.
Obtuse, what a great word to
I
end
know.
on.
Hello.
And because I think my dogs are about to start play fighting, let's maybe like
wrap it up. So, in conclusion, I didn't drink my tea, but I put my paintbrushes in it to clean. And
I did drink some of my tea, lemon and ginger.
oh,
Right. It's a bit cold now,
I
though.
I had green tea, I think, and I didn't paint the sky, but I did paint. I just put some paint on the paper, and I'm probably gonna paint over this again, and I'll put it up on the Instagram when I do, because so back to that thing, I just like repainting over until I'm absolutely happy with something, because like, why not?
Yeah.
I love the idea of just putting loads of wallpaper up. Oh no, I know.
What, on your walls and then just painting?
Yeah,
for
no,
days
so
and-
I really like the idea of, you know, when you have poster boards and people don't take down the previous posters,
Yeah.
they just put more up.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
It's a nice aesthetic.
Yeah, I am full of energy.
And that is a really good thing, and I hope everyone else has felt energised
Yeah.
by this podcast.
I hope you're not feeling overly stressed now. I've just rattled on for probably about 50 minutes now. Blimey.
Yeah, this is a long one, but what a great way to start the season,
Yeah.
everybody. I've managed to add some darker lines, thicker lines to my drawing, which makes me quite happy.
I feel like we should wrap it up. People
Yeah.
are going to be bored now.
I know, it's just that I want to finish my drawing, you know? I'm like, okay, and we're done. I'm going to leave it up for all of those who are interested.
Lovely.
I'm probably going to go back in, actually, but, you know, it's done for now.
Yeah.
And thank you
Thanks so much for listening.
Watching or listening.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, the voice crack.
Bye.